Welcome to the Artist Notepad, where we explore artistry, we talk life, and we talk right turns. I'm David.
And I'm Jack. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode 10 Artistry with Neelay. Today we're joined by Western Sydney... Wait, what? David, you screwed this up. You know I only read from the script.
Is that Ron Burgundy?
I'm Ron
You're
Burgundy.
doing great.
Yeah, we're joined by Western Sydney-based rapper Tunnel Vision. No, we are joined by Western Sydney-based rapper Neelay. But before we bring Neelay on, David, how are you doing today?
Well, Jack, thank you for asking. I'm doing quite well, my friend. It's this month of November's been a hectic ride, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, I'm keen to chat with our guests. We haven't had a guest on for a long time, so
Yes.
I have my acai on my right hand, and I got my Mission's tortilla chips on my left.
Oh, you're into the Mission tortilla chips, eh? Those chips are bougie, bro. Those are the bougie corn chips.
These are really crunchy. We were talking about Krispy Kreme just before we started, but these are really good.
Do you reckon
I
we
recommend.
could? Do you reckon we could sue Krispy Kreme because they're not that crispy or creamy for that matter?
It's creamy once it's in your mouth. Maybe we should bleep that out.
I'm not going to comment on that.
But how are you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good, thanks. You're drinking acai. I normally crack open a beer for these episodes, but today I'm drinking good old fashioned water, and it's not water. There we go. Because David, I'm planning. You may or may not know this, but back in the day, I was sort of known as a slightly better than mediocre soccer player, and I'm looking to find that form once more next season by going back to playing, playing for club for the first time in many years, but I was playing with my school back in the day, but I've had quite a bit of time off. I'm trying to get fit before the season starts because I've got some trials coming up in December. So yeah, I'm just starting to try to get fit, and I was out today doing some exercise, and so I'm drinking water because I'm trying to rehydrate because I sweated quite a lot today. You know I'm doing some exercise, try and get back in shape before that starts. But yeah, that's kind of my story for this week.
What are you forgetting? This is your duty to do this.
Yeah, I was just about to come on to it. Don't you worry. I never forget Jack's weather report.
Good.
It's been pretty inconsistent this last week, but today was quite overcast. You know, it was quite a high humidity level, a lot of moisture in the air, but not much wind. So it was quite a thick, humid day. So it was probably about 28, but it felt more like 31 on this particular day. Not the brightest day, quite a lot of clouds, but you know, you get a bit of bit of that with bit of that, you know how it is. You just have to bit of good with the bad.
You guys know, you guys know what we're talking about.
So yeah, no, it's been good. It's been pretty good all up. We've had a bit of rain, but that's all right. You know, nice warm weather. We're getting ready for summer, so yeah. I'm ready. Are you ready, David? We've only got what is it? What's the date today?
I'm ready, buddy. Are you having like a long weather report today? Because last week you made it super short.
Yeah, I got to make up for last week. Got a lot of complaints that I brushed over their favorite section too fast. So yeah, we're recording on Monday, the 23rd of November. So we got is that 30 days in November? Is that right?
Is it 31?
I don't know. We've got about a week until summer starts officially. So looking forward to that. But enough about that. We've talked about weather long enough. David, how about we get on our artists for this week?
That sounds amazing.
Okay,
if David, you would please do the honors.
I would absolutely love to. So, born and raised in Blacktown, Neelay is part of the new wave of hip-hop artists emerging in Western Sydney. Drawing from his Indian-Australian upbringing, Neelay's sound is authentic to his roots and reflects the changing face of the hip-hop scene. Influenced at an early age by 90s rap culture, along with the new hip-hop wave, Neelay has begun the creation of his own high-energy sound and has dropped his debut album, this 2020 in September. So without further ado, Neelay, welcome onto the Artist Notepad.
What is up? What is up? What is up? How y'all going?
Yeah.
We're good, man.
Neelay.
Thank you for coming
That's
and
good,
joining
that's
us. How are you doing yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain. Everything's exams done, so I'm free. Just trying to make music now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I bet. You've got a pretty long break off now, hey?
Ooh, yeah, man. Till start of February, so can get a few dozen
that's
songs
so
done in
good.
there.
Awesome. David, you're finishing up soon as well, right?
Yeah, I got a week left at AIM prison, AIM penitentiary, but
For your masters?
nah, I'm still doing my batch, but I'll be done after this week.
Oh shit!
So-
Are you gonna graduate this year?
Yes,
Or is it next year
that's
graduation?
the plan.
Oh,
Next year
awesome,
will be
man.
the graduation,
Yeah.
but this will be my last week.
It's funny. I saw all the pictures going around of the people who graduated last year because they did so we were going to have a graduation and then it got postponed because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so all these people
Yeah.
were sharing photos and taking photos and stuff. And I didn't go. So
Oh.
I'm just seeing all these people who
Yeah,
like,
you should have been there.
I don't know, man. I was so over it. Like I finished uni last December and almost 11 months later, I'm having a graduation. Like I was just over it, to be honest.
it's kinda funny.
How's it been? What have you been doing after uni?
So I was working at ICC Sydney, which is
Yeah.
the International Convention Centre, and then
Okay.
COVID. And so since then, I've been working from home, shall we say. I was on full-time contract, so I've been one of the fortunate ones to stay with the government funding. But I've been doing some bits and pieces here and there. But we're not here to talk about me, so I'm just gonna straight away just sort of tangent smoothly, and I hear that
So
if you explain the tangent, it's even more smooth. So
Oh,
we're
smooth.
going to talk about No Left Turns,
Yep.
your debut
Yep.
album.
Yeah. man.
How are you feeling about it? It came out in September, so it's been a bit of time now. How
Yeah.
have you felt about sort of the response to it and just the process of going through and releasing that as your first body of work? What was that like?
Oh, I can't even explain it, man. Like, to be honest, that whole body of work wasn't even expected to be like that long of a process. And what it actually started off as was like something completely different. It was just basically like just songs that I liked that I made, and then I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'll put this in and make it out, put it out as an album, because it was basically like from 2018, just when I started AIM, which was like 2017 actually, my bad. I started compiling songs together because I knew I wanted a body of work out, but I didn't know like how to even go by it. So then when I started it, there was so many things that I learned in the process. It was just like freaking the main thing was organization, man. Cause on my computer, everything was everywhere, and I was just like, fuck, I can't like handle this way. And then not even just that, but recording myself, I learned how to use the softwares and everything. It's the little things that people don't really understand about making music. It's like learning organization, how to actually, the process of it. Do you do your verse first? Do you do your chorus? Do you do ad libs and all that little stuff? So I think once I got my head around all of that, then I was just like, now I think I can kind of tap into more of the song part of it, like more aesthetic part of it. Yeah,
For sure. Yeah. I've got a mate who I'm not going to throw under the bus here, but his organization of his files is just so bad.
It's trash.
And his name's David. No, I'm joking. It's not David. And just every single time I work with him, it's just a nightmare. And to give him credit, he seems to know where everything is. He rarely loses it, but he's one of those people who's his desktop, there's no free space. It's just all
abstract organization.
And like
skills.
all the things are called like, Project One and stuff like that. And it's
Project One Final. Project One
Final Two.
Seriously.
Yeah, and then-
Final Two.
And then here's me, and I'm kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum of like when it comes to file management, because I have to manage other people's files, not just my own.
Yeah.
So like the organization is super important to me, and I need to be able to find everyone's stuff like really quick. And so I'm sort of one of those people who I've just got like those flow charts of files where it just keeps you click one and then three open up, you click one of those and then another three, and then it just keeps opening up. But I can navigate it, which has taken a lot of time. But it's
Right, but when you finished it and you can navigate it, it's so beautiful.
exactly.
It's like,
I managed to get my whole hard drive, which is I think about 700 gigabytes worth of media, down to 3 starting files. So it's 3 starting folders, and so one of them I can't remember what they are, but one of them's clients. And then once I open that, then there's like previous clients, current clients, and stuff like that. And so each one just keeps opening up, categorizing more and more and more. And it just makes this stuff so much easier to, you know, sort out and just find. But did you have to go through any sort of, you know, file losses or something like that to teach you those hard lessons? Or
I think you know that actually, Adam, everyone. There's a song there's a song called Facts, and that was made when I started AIM, man. That was made when I started AIM, so 3 years ago, bro. 3 years ago, and it's on the album still. That song, I don't know where the hell it's gone, or where the files and all the stems are for it. It's just gone. All I had was the acapella of the whole song.
Yeah, that's right.
Ad-libs included. Ad-libs included. And I was like, and then I tried to re-record it because you asked me to, and also because I wanted to. But then I'm like, it's just not coming out the same. I tried it for 3 hours, three hours just to get like the first verse, and I'm like, this is not happening. And I kept going. I did the whole song, and then I'm like, it's not even the same. And so I'm like, Jack, can you do what you can do and fix it?
Is that what we did with that? We just mixed the beat and that, right? Okay.
Right. So but the thing that we were able to do is I got the beat on the lease, which is, you know, it's all good. It's not full out. It's not mine, but it's on a lease. Me and my friend, we kind of recreated the beat. So I'm pretty sure I send you the stems of the beat, which kind of might have helped. But we recreated the beat and we added our own little parts to it, but it's purely the same beat, just different drums, different bass, kicks, bass, hi-hats, all that stuff. It's just more to my liking, but I don't know. Hopefully that helped you work with it a bit more.
Well, I think it worked out pretty well, because I gave it a listen through the album today before we started recording.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't notice any tracks that popped out to me as, oh, that was mixed really differently. So I think we sort of got it together.
Oh, good.
David, did you notice anything like that? So which track was it again?
It was super smooth. Facts. Right. For those of you listening, just for a bit more context, because they might not know, Jack helped out Neelay with this project as the audio engineer. So
very graciously for a great price. Because I was broke.
Graciously I was broke. Price, yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's probably a good idea to say that, David, because otherwise it probably didn't make much sense. But it was cool. It was cool. Working on the whole project together was, I think we both learned a lot from that experience.
Way more back and forth than I ever thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Way more.
But that's good. I think it's good when there's constant communication between all parties involved in the production process. I was going to say, there was quite a bit of a delay from when you initially planned on dropping this album to when it actually got dropped. So do you want to sort of talk about that process? Because I'm sure there's a lot of artists, or just like artists who've experienced that, or maybe a lot of people who aren't artists who just have no idea that this stuff takes so much longer than you think. Even when you are an artist, it's still just the process just drags.
Because I was naive in the start as well. I was like, okay, what's the rush? Like, you just do the song, record it, get it mixed, and that's it. But you don't realize that there's other people in between in there. Like, for example, when I was relaying stuff back to you, and then you're like, oh, maybe this will sound better, and I'm like, oh, but I think this way, and then it's just a lot of back and forth. So one song, 1, 2, 3 songs can take what, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks, or how long did it take you?
I think we did the whole album in 2 months, I think.
Yeah, which still damn quick, like still really, really quick, because you were sending them back and forth like 3 at a time, and I was like telling you all 3 what was like what I liked and what I didn't like of the 3.
Yeah, that's right.
And so like I guess I was naive with the fact that, like, you know, it would get mixed in like a month or whatever, but then obviously when you actually dealt like when you go into it, you realize that there's way more things that, because you had things on your plate as well. Like, it's not literally just you doing my album, it's you doing everyone else's stuff as well. So obviously that's you take that into account. But then when you play your stuff and then you go back to it and then you hear one thing that's wrong, you kind of think, oh no, I need to go back and tell him. And
for sure.
Because if you don't, man, then that's stuck on the album for
sure. I guess if it was all the first mix, you know, and there was only one mix, then it probably would be done in a month. But the fact of the matter is, it's normally 2, sometimes 3 mixes, 4 revisions, like where you have to go back and change things. And it's not always because of mistakes. Sometimes it's more just the artist has a different interpretation of the track. Because it's like when I get sent something, or when David gets sent something, the artist doesn't tell you every single thing how they want it. It's normally left up to interpretation. And then so sometimes
references is important.
Exactly. And sometimes, I've experienced doing something, sent it back, and someone said, "Oh, that's like not at all what I wanted, but I kind of dig that. Like, let's maybe dial it back a bit, but I like that idea."
Exactly, which is so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think there was one song where you did for me where I didn't want any, where you put mad auto-tune on it. And I can't remember which one it was. But,
was it for her?
Huh?
Was it for her?
Yeah, it was for her. Yeah, it was for her. I think it was. You put mad auto-tune on it, and I'm like, ooh. Probably not it, but then when you took it off, then I was like, oh, I feel like it's missing something, and then I'm like, can you put a little bit back on? And then like if you had never put the like that much auto tune on, I would have never been like, oh yeah, can you put a bit on?
You would have never considered. Yeah.
Well, it's cool when you get to have a creative role as the engineer as well, and that's something that I love to do when I mix people's work, is to have some kind of creative influence. Sometimes you just, sometimes you do something and it's just completely wrong. And the artist will just tell you like, no. And like sometimes it'll be something that you worked on for like half an hour, just this one little thing. And they'll be like, no, I actually don't like that. And you're just like, okay. And you just have to sort of cop it. And, but other times, I love to have like little sort of my own almost like stamps in songs where I can be like, yeah, that was me. And it's cool. And, so David, have you experienced that like in the engineer's seat, having sort of creative influence on a track?
Yeah, just to add to that, I think it's that you have to give the engineer that creative space to just experiment so that they have that freedom of exploring, but also like finding out the boundaries together.
Sure.
Or like you showing different routes, like how you did with the auto-tune. So I think, you have to respect the engineer enough to be like, hey, I trust you to make this sound polished and sound good. Like, go for it. And then be honest when it's like, I don't like this. Like
for sure.
30-minute example that you get. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The best ones are when they're just happy. Like you just do what you want to do and like you go all out and then they're like, bro, I love this. And then
but sometimes it's like sometimes it's a particular artist, you'll just have a really good like creative bond with someone. Like sometimes your ideas just all mesh with theirs, and so like there are some artists that I've worked for multiple times, and every time it's just the first mix, like it's just done and they're just like perfect.
That must be so good for you.
It's the easiest.
Makes you feel good too.
But sometimes that you have artists who are really particular and you have to go back and forth a lot, and at the end of the day it's like if you're smart, you'll just only allow them a certain number of revisions and then you just charge them on top because you're doing a lot of extra work. But the easiest ones are when you just like this particular guy that I've worked with, the mixes they take me like an hour. They're so quick just to put everything in, edit all the audio and then mix it all and then master it all. And the whole process is done in an hour, send it back. He normally calls me and he's just like, bro, this is lit. I'm just like, sweet, easy. And then, other times it's just a lot more difficult. So it's just how the engineering games go,
If it was to go back to like how you were talking about the what's to affect it, also the fact of freaking COVID, man. Because the thing is, we wanted to initially. When I say we, it's like me, like just like the people I like work with. So basically, me, my sister, my sister's boyfriend, who basically kind of makes my videos and stuff, and also also like my girlfriend and stuff. Like they just kind of help. Like I guess it's just like friends in general. They just help, right? Yeah. When to actually drop it, because what I wanted to do was like a little album release party, like in just like a like somewhere small, like like in Surrey Hills or something, just something small, right? But like enough to kind of fill up the place, get photos, and be like, albums released.
Sure.
But because of COVID, like all that got pushed back, and never happened. So I was just like, I'm not sitting on it anymore, because I was sitting on it for so long, and I was just like, okay, I'll just drop it. But then also on top of all of that, it was getting videos done for it, because I didn't want to release the album with no videos. So that was the other part. So with videos comes money, right? So you got to save money to make videos, and so that's all part of the process. And thing is, like a lot of artists, like they put all their like they put a lot of money and stuff into it and all that stuff, and like people don't realize, like just normal people just like with day jobs and stuff, so you gotta save up. It's like saving up $1,000 for a freaking video. So
you have to work quite a few shifts at barbecues galore before you can pay for a lit music video, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, so
it's all bread.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta that all that stuff pushes it back as well. So yeah, if I was to get back to your question on that, all those little things push it back.
For sure.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you. Oh, sorry. You go.
No, I was gonna say, which helps for like future albums and stuff. You kind of understand more of when your deadline is gonna be, and not hype it up prior to the fact.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask. Because you said this album took like some of the earliest songs started like 2 years ago or 3 years ago when you started at AIM. How has the album shaped and taken form, and how different is it to what you originally envisioned? Like you briefly mentioned like the auto-tune stuff that Jack implemented, or little things that maybe like we should try it this way kind of thing. But like if you try to look back at 3 years ago and then look at it, what it happened, like what it became today. Like
that's a good question, man.
What could you tell us?
Yeah, that's a good question, because literally I was thinking about that, man. Like when I started at AIM, all it was is just bars, just rap, just hardcore rap, just rap. All that is.
Yeah.
But
flow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there was no thought of like structure of a song and like actually having melodies and making it, sound aesthetic, in the sense like people would actually want to sing along and stuff like that. Even think about like just singing a little bit but not really singing, but you know what I mean, like you get what I mean, like just not rapping rap. But melodic rap and little things like that. Like I would never have thought of that back when I started. Obviously there's still songs in the albums that are just like full 3 minutes of just me rapping, because that's what I like, that's like what I love to do. But since then I've taken on the whole part of like actually making songs like that even I like to listen to, like all, of course, like I'd have to, why would I put music out if I didn't love it myself? But like that I genuinely listen to in the car by myself, not to not to like not to write myself, but like
no, man, if you don't like your own music, how can you expect other people to?
Exactly. Exactly. So like,
is there a bit of favoritism in the album then, like song wise? Is there something that you play on repeat that you have in the album?
Definitely. Well, to be fair, 3 of the songs are released prior to the album dropping, which is For Her, Criminal, and For Her, Criminal, and I Just. Those 3 I played crazy before the album dropped. But since it's dropped, I've heard it way too much, so I don't play it anymore. So because you kind of just get over that song, but like other people love it. They're still the ones that do the best, because I think because I dropped it prior, but also because I think people like them the most. But one of my favorite songs that is like that's not doing too well is like what is called What I Want. It's like I think it's the
What You Want. What I Want.
I don't think because I was looking at the statistics on like Spotify and stuff, and it wasn't didn't match. And then there's songs and then there's songs that like I thought that I was like, even like to the last week of me dropping the album, I was contemplating taking it off the album, that are doing like one of the best, like Nobody Tell Me No, like that's all original.
Really?
That's all original, by the way. That's all original as well. That's the only one on the album that's all original.
Oh, awesome. I had a question about the album itself, because like you decided to drop a whole album, and this is sort of like I know you've released some stuff on SoundCloud and you've done sort of freestyles and stuff, but like it was a pretty big move to make your first like on all streaming platforms body of work to be an album. Like a lot of people would go with an EP first, or they drop a whole bunch of singles before releasing a body of work.
Yeah, definitely.
What led you to get to the stage where you were just like, you know what, I'm just going to drop a whole album? Is that a bit of a flex, or is it something that
No, I needed a catalog, man. I needed a catalog.
Okay.
everything that everyone was checking up on YouTube and SoundCloud, hopefully not. If I need to fix that
out, guys, go check it out.
Please don't. I'm gonna go fix that right after this. Nah. But like everything that I had on YouTube and stuff was like, man, dated. It was so dated. It wasn't who I was at the time. So people like anyone that was saying like, oh, like I like your music and this that, like it's still nice to hear. But it's just not who I am
that's
anymore.
Not you.
That's not. That's even right now, like to this day, like to this day, literally before you guys hopped on, I was just like, just making some music as well, and it's nothing compared to the album. You know what I mean? It's just continuously evolving in music, and you just want people to keep hearing what you're doing at the moment and what you're doing good at, and like, because like now it's just like fully melodic rap with some bars, but before it was just bars and like you know what I mean? Like it's just forever changing, and for that reason, I needed a catalog out so people could see it evolving instead of just being like, oh yeah, he's okay, he's all right, he's good. Nah, because I don't want to just be good. I want to be fucking great, bro.
It'd be great. Yeah. Would you say the shaping of like your music, like as you just said, something that came from like 3 years ago, bars to now more melodic route, like does that come from like just your taste in music, what you're consuming on the daily? Like
100%,
who you're listening to these days that's
100%
inspiring you right now? Yeah.
100%. So I think it started off with some people might not like it, but it started off with Russ, because obviously he's got a lot of melodicness to his music, and I guess that opened up different windows when I started listening to different things. Because prior to that, it was like Eminem, 50 Cent, like, you know, Busta Rhymes, just old school rap, and there's melodicness to it, but not to the extent like it is to this day. So I'd say Russ started it, and then just slowly to like, you know, like Lil TJ. It's hard to name it off the top of my head. Who else can I say?
Like, but it's the ones that come up right away. That's like the ones that you're thinking about the most. So
yeah.
Go on,
definitely. Yeah. So like Lil TJ. Who else would I say? To be honest, I wouldn't say it's so much those rappers. I'd say it's their beats they use that are like real enticing. Because like when I go look for beats, I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to get out of just using type beats. I'm trying to get out of it, but it's quick, right? Say you feel like making music, so it's right there. It's right there. So I'm trying to get out of it, but like all the things that come up is like Lil Baby, Gunna, all those type of stuff, like those type of beats. That is like the melodicness to it. So. And I guess that's what I love like about it, because it's just like things just keep changing. It's not the ones. It's not just like static. It's not just in the one spot of just bars, chorus. It's like bars, pre-chorus, verse, and like it just jumps, and then there's like some singing part, and there's like bars again, and it's like there's just way more to it that it's more enticing for people to listen to as well.
You can definitely hear that in the album as well. It's so when you say that some of these songs were written 2-3 years ago, were there some that were like much closer to when you released the album?
100%.
Right. Well, I feel like I could, you know, if I gave it a listen, I could probably tell you which ones were more recent, because you can hear that growth that you're talking about there as you begin to sort of mess with the structure a little bit, add sort of pre-choruses and post-choruses and sort of more structural elements to your tracks to change them from just being as you said, verse hook, which you do have some tracks on the album that are like that, but I don't think that they're necessarily lesser for it, because you know, it provides a variety of what type of music, and I think your album does like bring a lot of variety in terms of sound, in terms of energy.
Hopefully that's what I was trying to go for.
I think it comes across that way. I was going to ask, so you say that you sort of had a bunch of tracks and you sort of decided to make it into an album. When did that decision decision take place? Was that something that happened quite a bit before?
That's something that happened when I didn't know anything, bro. Like honestly, like I didn't know anything in that sense. Like I was just like, let me just put music together and just drop it like all at once.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
But it wasn't.
And you were considering to even call it just like a mixtape, right?
Yeah, at one point, yeah. But
Yeah.
then I'm like, if I'm gonna put this much effort into this many songs, bro, let me do it properly. So I guess that was more of a growth, like me, like in a maturity thought, like, you know, like a mature thought in the sense of like, you know, let me just take my time and do it properly instead of just being stupid and dropping it all at once and not getting any feedback on it, dropping it on SoundCloud, you know, not doing it properly. Like that little bit more effort, a little bit of more money, a little bit more time helped out a lot, you know, all those things. So I guess when I first started thinking about like, you know, let me just put all these songs together, it was just like throw it out. But then I was like, nah, I need to do it nicely, take my time with it, and then drop it. That's why people probably kept thinking like, oh, this man's never dropping an album, because he kept saying it for 3 years. Yeah.
I was like on the topic of like, because when you were talking about inspirations earlier, I was surprised you didn't say Logic as well.
Bro, Logic, yeah, my bad. Like,
bro, you sound like your flows are like, when I was hearing the album, I'm like, this guy definitely loves his Logic.
Bro, yeah, no, my bad.
Yeah.
I was waiting. I don't. That's why I don't like people ask, who do you listen to? It's so hard, bro, because it's forever changing. Like there was a point in my life. Yeah. There was a time where it was just Logic, bro, just Logic continuously.
Tell, man.
And like,
man, that's really awkward because you know Logic is a weekly listener of our shows, so he's gonna hear that you've got him. So you know.
It was definitely was Logic, and like that's what a lot of people say, they hear Logic in me, and I hear it as well. Like when I made that, I was like, fuck, this sounds like a Logic song, like in the sense of more so in the chorus, but like it was like, I was like, yeah, like I definitely hear Logic as well, and there's a lot of Logic type beats I make, so maybe that's why.
I think you bring a similar energy to him as well. It's not just like with your flow, like, you know, Logic on his harder stuff, like he really brings like a very visceral energy to his bars, and it's in his production as well. And I feel like on your album, I think your bio described you as an energetic rapper, and I think that's one of the best ways to describe you. You really attack the beats that you jump on. Like it's kind of hard not to just sort of start bobbing your head kind of naturally, because it's no, I'm serious, man. Like it's
pouncing on them beats.
There's different type of rappers, you know. Some people are a lot more laid back, and that can be really nice and smooth as well. But other times, you know, you just want someone a bit more hype that's gonna, like, you know, just
definitely.
Come on.
You have to get the beat, you know. Yeah.
And to be honest, like if I do look at references for albums, Logic is one of the references for the album that I did look at. What was it? Under Pressure. Definitely Under Pressure.
For sure.
Because there's everything in there, bro. There's like just songs of like there's like, you know, there's songs that are like just 2 minutes of just him just rapping bars, and there's songs that are doing melodic shit, and then there's songs that just like, you know, just rap, like, you know, like dude's just like he was versatile. So like obviously is and was a big influence. I say was because I listened to him way more before.
Right. Okay. So have your inspirations changed over time? And I mean, I guess this sort of leads into a question of how did you sort of get into rap in the first place? Like when you were younger, was it because you sort of were listening to hip hop and they sort of inspired you, like certain rappers inspired you, or how did you get into it in the first place?
Everyone else, I love telling this story. My mum actually gave me a Busta Rhymes CD for my I think it was 4th birthday.
No way!
Wow, 4th birthday.
Maybe. To be honest,
you were gonna say like 14th birthday.
Nah,
fourth birthday.
To be honest, I think she just had the CD and gave it to me like as a little present. Nothing big. Probably just because I wanted it. But I mean,
for sure. Yeah.
But also on top of that, like she had a Eminem CD in her like CD rack.
When Mom was a hip hop head.
Well, yeah, when that was a thing.
Shout out, Mama.
When CD racks was a thing. So I found that. I'm like, man, why is this one different? Who's this and this stuff? And so I downloaded it. Not downloaded it. I played it on my CD player, and I was like, oh, okay, I like it. And so like, I guess it just kept evolving, and then like it was like Eminem, and then like I remember specifically, man, like there was one time where I was like just at Dad's house, and I was like just watching to Rage, you know. It's still pumping. And Lose Yourself came on. I'm like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
was like, whoa, this is cool. And I think that was from the prior stuff. That was the initial point. I was like, this is cool. And then I just started like listening to a whole bunch more of it, like Akon as well, because of
Akon.
That's that thing.
Man, I had an Akon phase for sure.
Bruh,
Freedom, that album.
Yeah, man, 100%. I love that album. But like,
I had that on repeat for so long.
Yeah. And then I just started writing raps, like with no beats, no nothing. It was like in year 5 I started writing raps.
Year 5.
Wow.
So you're like 11 years old?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was
prodigy.
It was trash. Let's not get it twisted. It was horrible, probably all the way up.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
It was worse than that. It was like
Worse than that.
saying,
Oh my gosh.
talking about things I didn't even know about. You know, listening to Wiz Khalifa. I didn't know what I didn't know what weed was. And just still rapping about it like I knew something.
Man, we got to start somewhere though.
Yeah.
So who were you listening to? Like, I guess you're sort of answering that as well, but did like that sort of evolve over time? Is there a sort of style of hip hop you really fell into at any period?
Bro, it was Eminem for the longest. It was Eminem up until like from when I started until
your first love.
No, it was up until like year 9, easy.
Right.
Wow.
So long. I mean, when I say long, it was like a long time. I was listening to Eminem for, because he has so much work, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of catalog.
There's so much, you just can't stop. And like his mixtapes and little things, there's just so much of it. Yeah, man. And then I think after that it would then it was Logic. That's when my Logic phase hit. Logic was like for a while, and I think that's why it was a big influence, because at that point when I started listening to Logic, it was the turn of like when my writing became that bit better. It wasn't just talking about shit I had no idea about. It was actually like,
for sure,
you know, having actual bars and like, you know, metaphors and all those little things, having structure to the song, you know, knowing when to flow in, like when to start a different flow, when to actually finish on the beat, on the 4s, on the 8s, you know, all the 6, all those stuff. So it was, I think that's why Logic is more seen with my rapping style, because you can, because I started listening to him and at an important time.
When did you start, I guess, incorporating your life into your work? Because as you said, when you were younger, you're just sort of writing about stuff. But like, for example, in the album, there's some really like intimate sharing, like especially about your family and like about your girlfriend, and just like lots of sharing from your own life, where you're sort of telling people about these relationships and what's happening in your family via your music. When did that start to be a form of expression and sharing and not just straight bars?
Recently, like
okay.
What I'd say, probably after AIM, man. Like not even
really?
Because I always felt weird talking about like family wise, and like because I know that they listen to my music, so it was kind of like, it's kind of like, I think that's another part of music that people don't like. I don't know, people just bypass. It's like, oh, like you can just talk about it, but like you still don't realize that you have to look your family in the face every day. So it's kind of like, oh, I wrote a song about you. It's not weird or anything, but but like it's okay, because like I guess once you've been doing it for a while, it kind of just becomes normal. So little by little, you keep pushing the barrier of what you can say, and things become more normalized.
You're still on the stuff that you're working on now. It's getting more and more deep.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I try. I get stuck in between a point of doing bars and just writing stories. So, I guess Criminal was important because it was me just trying to write a story. It nothing about me, just me trying to write a story.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. That was me. No, it was just trying to write a story. So I guess that was the first point of me trying to story like raps. What do you call it? Like storytelling my raps. But I guess that's all recent because I wanted to push that barrier. I didn't want to just be like didn't want to just do just random things. I wanted to talk about some actual things about myself as well. And also on top of that, like when I listen to other artists, like, you know, for example, J. Cole, like, and like he talks a whole lot of stuff about himself and like what, you know, how he feels and all this little stuff. So I was like, you know, and I guess it's just like a versatility that every artist should have. They should be able to storytell, but they should also be able to make good music.
Yeah.
Well,
Cole was one other artist that I thought. Sorry for cutting you off, but like Cole was another artist I thought you were gonna mention in terms of your inspiration, just because of like how you title some of the songs in the album as well. But
no, definitely.
Yeah, we spoke a lot on like musical influences, or like the things that you grew up on, like the 90s to like Logic to
that's what I like. That's what I like people asking who I like, because it's just I blank out.
Yeah, but a question that I want to throw in the mix is how does Blacktown and your Indian cultural roots, how does that come into play in your music?
Ooh,
like there's Eminem, and like you can hear Logic when you listen to your music, and then in the future I'm guessing we're gonna hear more Russ elements or more melodic stuff more and more. But yeah.
To be honest, in the future you're probably gonna hear more Australian stuff.
Oh,
not in the sense of like I'm gonna be
drill
saying
rap?
No, not drill rap. just more. To be honest, it's kind of hard to actually get at, because I've been listening a lot more Oz rap. So
yeah,
accents are changing a little bit, not a whole lot, but like sure.
I could hear
certain words
a little bit.
Yeah, in the album as well, little words, but it's got even more since then. But it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. It's just happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I guess that's one thing. But sorry, man, what was the question prior to that?
Like, how does your Indian culture, like upbringing, and like your Blacktown upbringing, how does that come into play in your music?
Well, I guess Blacktown is more so. It's not more, when I talk about Blacktown, it's more so growing up in the area, growing up over there. You know, it being one of the places people don't really want to talk about, to now being one of the places people talk about because it's hype, right? Or like Mount Druitt, all that stuff, little things like that. People, places like that, western suburbs. But it's just kind of cool. It's just always having love for your area, because that's where you grew. That's where I grew up. That's where I've learned things. That's where I've had all these experiences. That's where I've my whole life was there. Like is there. I say was there because I've moved, but still is there because I know I can't rep the area no more.
We'll bleep that out so people don't know.
Nah, but your followers just unfollow you.
You lose half your followers.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not really shy of saying it, because that's what grew, like molded me. That's where I came. That's where I came from, literally from there. So, it's not so much me struggling, because I never struggled in that sense. It's just more so people around you, the school that you go to, the people that, like the friends that like just knowing like how it is for life for other people in the area is what's more
what you're exposed to, what you saw growing up.
Because I don't want to get it twisted. I don't want people to think like oh look, he's talking about struggling. But I didn't really struggle in any sense of that like that. It was more so just knowing what happens around the area and how people can be affected by it, or or can be looked down, because they're from there, little things like that. But also with my Indian background, I guess it's more important for me because there's no one. Well, I wouldn't say no one because it's forever growing. The Australian scene, but when I started, there was no one that I knew that would make like that was Fijian Indian or Indian or brown in that sense and make music. And if they were, they like. I didn't really. They're
under a record label or something. There is El Fresh.
El Fresh is sick. He's amazing. He's real good.
Yeah.
But and like, it's real cool that he can like that he's doing what he does, and there's no hate to him. And I've listened to his album; it's really good. But it's so different. It's so different to what I make, in that sense. So like, you can appreciate it, but you can't really relate too much to it. You know what I mean? So like, as for Indians or like Fijian Indians that are in the a scene of music, there was none, so I guess that's why. And also to be honest, like back when I did start making music, there was not much anyone in the scene. Like it was all just Cursor, it was all just Hilltop Hoods and all that stuff. Like it's grown so much since those days, and
for sure
it's amazing. But like now,
I think also
now it's harder.
Yeah, for sure. I was just going to say, I think as you start like tapping into the scene, you find all this talent around you as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's partly the scene definitely is growing in Sydney, but partly like the more you immerse yourself in it, the more you find, oh my gosh, there's so many talented people around here that aren't getting as much like attention as they should be getting.
100%, man, 100%. Like that's also another reason. Like when I did start, regretful of the fact that I didn't drop as much as music as I should have, because if I did, hopefully, then I don't know, I feel like that would have got me a bit more noticed in music, because
there was less competition. But it's not to say that I'm not confident in my music. It was just there was less from to stand out to, you know what I mean? So like it was like less people to actually go past for others to see, because if you just made music back in the day, it was like, oh wow, he makes music, and that was it. It wasn't like, oh, he makes music, another person that makes music. It was but then I'd also say, like, even though there's more competition, there's also more recognition as well. So
100%, definitely, man.
What's that quote? All boats rise as the tide comes in, or something like that. Like more attention comes to the Sydney scene, like all artists benefit in a way.
Oh yeah, I'm not angry about it one bit. I'm not angry about it one bit. It's amazing because it gives you more opportunities as well, right?
Yeah, there's for sure, more collaboration and
things like this, podcasts. It's little things like that build the culture up. So podcasts, little YouTube accounts that do like interviews. More people making videos, more people doing like photos, more people mixing, mastering. And there's more people just coming into the scene in general, so it's that's amazing, because then you have more outlets to actually go to, and to even like you don't have to use the same videographer in every video for everyone in Sydney, so it's real good. It's real good.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of videographers, I just want to say, because like your videos, your visuals, they really set you apart, I think, in Sydney. You mentioned, I think you said your sister's boyfriend is who you work with.
Yeah, I should probably say a name for him. His name's Arun Surendran. not just
Arun.
Not just go by my sister's boyfriend, but yeah, his name's Arun Surendran. He's also, I think he's on life visuals, I think it is, on Instagram. But yeah, a lot of people message me about his videographers, his video stuff, so check him out.
He's amazing, man. Especially I remember when I saw Criminal, and I'd seen some of your freestyle videos before, and I was just like, oh, these are cool, man. He's got
and stuff.
I can't remember what it was for, but there's one where you're skating in like a warehouse. Was it Pure Water?
No, that was One Liner.
Oh, there you go, One Liner. And that, I loved that video, and it was just so clever, just the way that, like you were cutting between shots and stuff like that. But then when I saw Criminal, it was like just the next level. And Criminal is one of my favorite videos that I've seen come out of Sydney. There's so much attention to detail, and like all the motion, the camera motion and stuff. It's like, I don't know, there's something really unique about it. And when I saw that, I was just, when I saw that, I was just like, holy crap, like this looks like a high level, like real high pro level video. And I was like, how did Neelay get his hands on someone who is this good? Do you want to tell us about like is that it? Is that all there is to it?
Yeah, honestly, like he just happened to be a videographer, and so then he's like, right, and he liked the music that I made.
You're like around, you're like driving around all these areas, like you're in Lidcombe, I think some parts you're in Blacktown.
Bro, that video took forever. That whole video was supposed to be in the day, so imagine that whole video, all the takes being done in the day, and then him going home and editing it, realizing, oh no, scrap it, and then we had to redo everything again at night. Took so long to do that video, bro. And the amount of running, so there's one shot where I'm just like running to the car. Bro, the amount of running I did, whole workouts, and none of them got taken. It was only like those 5 seconds.
Wow.
There's so many areas, and like things that we did and that just got scrapped. So I think that's all part of like the process of all that people don't understand. Like a video isn't just the one shot, we've got them all taken out. That's good. It's shooting it and then they go home and edit it and then realize that some of the parts aren't what you want, and then having to redo it again and rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you spend like full days shooting. I'm sure you'd have taken like
more than 4 days, bro.
whole weeks. Oh, full days. I said full days.
Definitely full days.
You just take a whole day of just shooting. But yeah.
Yeah, I also want to shout out, you mentioned it before, but the Pure Water video. I love that video as well in the alleyway.
Thanks, man.
That's so sick. And I can't remember, it's like one shot, right? Or is it?
My Lord, yeah, man. One shot, one take.
Yeah, it's a cool video.
That would have been hard.
Yeah, man. The amount of
it's so smooth, so slick.
Well, yeah, because it was one of the good shots. Bro, it was you have to practice everything out when you do it, and like sometimes you have an idea in your head of what you want to do, and then you get there, and then you're like, oh no, maybe this will work better. So you end up scrapping the whole other idea and doing a different thing. But it worked out good. Like we kind of added little things in the process. Like when we walked past where we started, like when I'm sitting down, I wasn't supposed to be there. It was just supposed to be me coming around the corner, but then that place looked so sick, and we asked the people that were working there if we could just use it, and like yeah sure, because it's like just this Asian restaurant, and they were just like yeah sure, go ahead. And so then we were able to use it, and then like I think it was me coming around the side where then it's into like into Chinatown, I think it is, and that's where people were, so then it was a little bit hard to kind of maneuver around them. But finally, when we got the shot, we got it. So it was good. Yeah. But fuck, that took a while.
It would have been cool even if you just strolled through Chinatown, where the camera just continues to follow you, and then there's just people staring at you from behind.
I don't know. Like I don't know about that. Like it would be cool, but like sometimes when you watch videos, I always try and look at the people, try and stare at the video, stare at the person who's like the main. So you don't. I didn't want.
You lose focus.
I didn't want that too much, because you kind of want to make it seem natural, like they're not really paying attention to you, but you're just there, you're doing your thing.
Yeah. True.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, I really enjoy those visuals. So I hope there's more to come from that direction for sure, because I do think it is one of the things that sets you apart when it comes to your videos. Like they're like the next level. And as you said, you got a bit lucky, but to have access to working with someone who really knows their stuff, like not just with the shooting, but does he do all the editing as well?
In the previous videos, yes. In the most recent one, which was I Just video, no, I don't think he did. I think he was just he just directed that one, because if you go on the actual video, it shows you a whole list of people who worked on it, and that was the whole point of it, because he wants to like be a director type of thing. So so when he was doing that one, I think he was just trying to direct and like be, you do this, you do that, and he wasn't even holding the camera in that one. He was just directing the whole thing.
Legit just
awesome. I think he did want to edit it at the end, but ended up being like nah, and he got someone else to do it.
Fair enough.
But obviously still had his word in there, but like
yeah, for sure. Well, it's another great visual. David, I don't know, do you have any more questions you want to ask before we head into our final question?
Yeah, before we get to our final question, one question I have is, you did mention like for the longest time you had to hold off doing like a launch party because of COVID. Now that it seems like as 2020 closes, like we're heading to a good direction where things are just opening up again and again, like more and more. Like, are there plans for you to be performing anytime soon or in the near future that you see that might be happening for you?
I'm still waiting to do my first show, bro. Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, I'll try and contact people if I can get on something when the scene opens up again like that. But I'm still waiting to do my first. How
do you feel about that? About the live side of it? Because obviously you said you haven't had as much experience in it.
Bro, it's something I wanted to do forever, so I'm just ready for that.
Awesome, bro.
I'm just ready to just kick up on stage.
Yeah.
Have you been practicing in your room or
front of the mirror,
holding up bottles
in the shower?
I can't disclose that information, bro.
Come on now, we need that exclusive info.
Every artist does that, so I think it's known.
Yeah.
Holding like your toothbrush, true. As your mic.
Toothbrush.
Awesome, man. Well, Neelay, we've been asking everyone who's come on, because we started this podcast around when COVID was really kicking off, and we've been asking every artist that we bring on just like if they've got any advice for their fellow artists or just for people in general, something that maybe that they've learnt during this pandemic period, a lesson, whether it's to do with art or whether it's just to do with life. Is there anything that you'd like to share with our listeners and maybe, you know, with Logic, your number one fan? Anything that you learned?
Oh, that's hard. It's focus on things that you can, like, you know, that you have an interest in. So like with music, like if you have an interest in it, tap into it a little bit more, like every day or something, I guess, because of COVID, I have been making more music, and like I guess it's more like, because as I was saying previously, the way that I make music now is different. So now I just kind of freestyle in my car and then rewrite the words that I say because it's more melodic and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I travel a lot from mum to dad's house, and in that time I do that. So I guess during COVID, I've been traveling between the both a lot more, because that's that's the only place you kind of can really go is to your parents' houses.
For sure.
And just spending more time on like doing the things that you like to do. So because you got more free time at home, so why not? But
tap into those interests.
But also on top of that, I can't really speak too much on that because also I was going to work when COVID was heavy, so I was essential. Apparently,
for sure,
we needed barbecues.
Yeah,
man, we need those barbecues.
Barbecues. You can still have 4-man or 1 family barbecues. So.
What are we gonna cook our snags on if we don't have our barbecues, bro? We need those. We need those Webbers.
We don't sell Webbers.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah, we don't.
It's not really a galore then, is it?
Yeah, geez.
It's competition. That's why.
Cheeky Weber. They've done their own thing because they've set up their own stores now.
Yeah, they have.
That makes sense. Right. Classic Weber. All right, David. Well, have you got anything more to say?
Last question. Maybe I should have asked
before we said last question. Yeah.
Yeah. As a follow up to the performance thing, what's the song that you really look forward to performing for people? If people are listening to it right now and you're gonna be like having a show in the future and these are potential people that might come see you, it's like, look out for this song because it's gonna bang. I just for my I will be walking out to, and for my I will be ending the show with.
Sick. I like for my. I like
it's already drawn. It's already drawn, man.
Yeah, because I feel like for my is underrated, so, and it's one of my favorites as well.
I do too. I think so as well. I think it wraps up the album really well as well because it's the final track.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jack.
No worries, man. I've spent a while with the song, so I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of which ones are my favorite, because you know how sometimes you listen to an album and just like years later you'll listen to it and you'll be like, there's one song that you've always been sleeping on.
Definitely.
Like for me, when I listened to Damn, Kendrick's album, for like so many times, and it was only until like literally a year or two after where I realized how much I was sleeping on Duckworth, the final song, because it became like.
Because the thing is, you play.
Sorry, go ahead.
You play the start and you're like, "Oh, I'll skip it." You don't listen to it throughout the whole song. But then when you let it play, you're like,
"Yeah."
The bangs.
Oh man, like Duckworth, I was sleeping on it for so long, and now it's like one of my favorite tracks on that album. But with yours, I feel like I've listened to it enough that I've got a pretty good idea which ones are my favorite. I just want to also give a shout out to what song is it? It's Robbery. I love Robbery as well.
Thank you so much. That one's one of my favorite. Like, I banged that one hard for so long, bro.
For sure. I think that one hits different, like to all the others. I feel like there's something about Robbery that's just like, I dig it. David, you got any favorites?
I think my favorite, I need to look at the title so I can. I like Wait on Me with the Elijah feature.
Yeah.
Also like I like Vow.
Oh, really?
I don't know how much you like that, but yeah, I enjoyed Vow.
Vow was reference to actually when I heard Blessings by Kid Laroi. And bro, I just like that song so much. I was like, and I got like I was like, you ever have, I don't know if you ever have, but like when you get so inspired, you're like, I just gotta make music now or something.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you get so inspired, and that was the turn off from after
That's
listening to Blessings,
sick.
because it's kind of got the same feeling, I guess, a little bit to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mm-mm.
For sure. Awesome, man. Well, guys, you can find the album on pretty much all streaming services. Is that right?
Everything.
Everything. Find it everywhere. It's called No Left Turns. It's got a nice album cover of Neelay sitting there, you know.
With a no left turn sign behind.
Yeah,
him.
because that's where
Dude, how crazy is that coincidence that there happened to be a sign behind you that said No Left Turns and the album's called No Left
That's
Turns?
actually not even. It's
What are
not
the
even
chances?
Photoshop though. Like I literally sat in front of the car where it said no left turns and I wanted it there because that's where that's like near where I used to live. Like, well, in front of the KFC that I worked at. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, so like it's
Awesome.
like it's good because it's not just the fact that it's like that's the photo. That's in the right. It's in the heart of where I like grew up. So
I'm sure people will see that and like relate to it as well.
yeah,
know where it
maybe
is.
it's a little hard to see, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, you've got your day ones. I'm sure they know where it is. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Good.
You've been
Thanks so much
great,
for having me,
great
man.
guest. We've gone to some subjects which perhaps David and I didn't expect, but it's been a really interesting conversation about artist progression and, you know, losing some of that naivety that is like sort of expected when everyone's starting out. Like it just comes with the trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Thanks so much for coming on, David. Do you
Thanks
got
so
anything
much, bro.
anything to share?
No, man. Thanks for coming to talk to us.
Hey.
We've been trying to plan this for a minute
so
now,
long.
but it's finally happened, and it's an honor to have you as our last guest of 2020.
Shit, how,
I thought you were going to say last guest ever. I was like, what? Did you not tell me something, David?
Yeah, I quit. I quit.
yeah, so
Last
good.
guest of the
Thanks so much.
year.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much, guys, for that. It was like I ain't never done nothing like that, so it was pretty cool.
No worries at all. Thanks for
What?
having us. Or what? Thanks for coming
Thanks for
on.
having us.
I got a question. How come y'all started this? Like, was it because of COVID?
No, actually, like David and I, we
We've been happily married.
so it was actually just as I was coming to the end of my AIM degree, and we were just sitting out like in the cafeteria area,
Yeah.
and we were just chatting, and I was just like, I just sort of dropped it. I was just like, dude, I've been wanting to make a podcast, but I don't think I've got anything like good to talk about. And he was just like, oh, me too. And then we were just like, oh, seriously? And then we just sort of chatted, worked out an idea. We came up with a name
brainstormed.
that day.
Yeah.
And yeah, one thing led to another, and now we're, you know, charting number one on all podcasts worldwide.
Yeah.
So
Well, congratulations on
Rogan's
that.
like trying to chase after us. But
yeah,
he's not
humble
close.
beginnings, bro. Humble beginnings.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But that's the story of the artist Notepad. But yeah,
Right.
thanks for coming
No
on,
worries,
Neelay. Yeah, go stream his music right now. Check out that album. It's a good one.
No left turns.
No Left Turns with the singles For Her, For Real, and Criminal. They're three awesome singles as well. So check that out on all streaming services. And Neelay, do you want to shout out your socials?
I'll plug myself. My Instagram is _Neelay_, and my Facebook is official Neelay Music, and my YouTube is just Neelay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sick.
NEELAY for anyone who can't spell.
Wow. So considerate.
All right. Well, thanks again, Neelay, for coming on. David, I say it's about time we wrapped up this bad boy.
Let's wrap it up, Jack. Thank you for joining us, guys, for another edition of Tan Artistry. We'll catch you guys next episode. Peace.
Peace. Neelay, say peace.
Peace.